So what I'm saying is, when we have too much of an imbalance, it shows up in our household. It affects our children, and then our children have to figure out what the fuck, because that's what I did. I was like, why am I? What's wrong with me? So like in 2019 is when it really showed up, where I was like, there's something going on. I'm having this disconnection in my home. I'm not really sure what's happening. I don't have time to fully look into it. 'Cause I got this crazy nigga up in my house. I'm just being honest, okay? I don't know how people feel about the N word, but for me, some people be doing nigga shit. All right, so for all intents and purposes, I couldn't even be in my household. Y'all, I got a Cancer moon. I'm supposed to be like Rome family. I'm supposed to be able to have that. You know what I'm saying? And then also my Pisces North Node's in the fourth house. My home is supposed to be straight before I do anything else. And that's also what I learned during that time, because I realized that I was so focused on external. I was really distracting myself. I was so focused on, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And my household wasn't being sustained properly. And I was trying to figure out what was going on. I was like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this, but my household still doesn't feel sustained or safe. But I learned that I have to tend to my household and get clear. Excuse me, I got a burp coming. And there we go. And I got clear with my family lifestyle before I can really show up in the world the way that I can. I could not talk like this to you 3 years ago. I was not doing this 3 years ago. Even without, we didn't have money networks, but I still wasn't doing this like to this extent back then. I couldn't, you know. So, I was like, all right, I'm starting to feel like I don't want to cook. You know, I'm starting to feel like I don't want to do a whole bunch of stuff for him. I'm starting to feel like I'm being gaslighted. I'm starting to look at these walls. It was so much coming up for me. And I was like, but I manifested this though. I manifested this, and I got to figure out why, I'm feeling this way. So things had to get worse, so to speak, for me to get really clear about what was going on. Still, I got to still show up as a mother. We were doing edibles. We were doing things to escape. But and even with the edibles and stuff like that, I learned about myself. I met my higher self doing that, and that was also, that's another conversation that we will have later. But it was a lot that was falling apart. That's when I first started gaining weight again, like between November, December of 2019, going into January, February of 2020. And so for me, there's another component to it, but I didn't feel safe. And Nina's on here, and I'm gonna say this, and I think I've said this a bunch of times, but she asked me something during that time that really changed my life. It really made me be like, bing, like light bulb, okay. She asked me, did I feel safe to create? And I was like, no, I don't. I don't know if I answered it directly at that time, but when I thought about it, I was like, no, I don't. And this is a problem, because I love to create. I have a lot of creative energy, and I don't even want to do it, So there was some things showing up in my body postpartum around that time, as we're talking about health, that I didn't have time or give myself the space to really deal with until I got pregnant this time. I think right before I got pregnant last year, my body was giving me more signals like, yeah, you still got some residual stuff from then still up in here, and you got to release it. And then as soon as I found out I was pregnant with tightening, it was like, boom, bam, yeah, you got to fix this shit. And the stuff that was going on with my body that I'm still healing, it's gotten better, but I'm still healing, is root chakra stuff. I have the piriformis muscle is the muscle that kind of it's like surrounds the sciatic nerve. So if you hear people say sciatica, depending on your diagnosis, because it really depends, because sciatica has different levels. It's basically that muscle is so tight that it's squeezing that nerve, and then your body is like spasm nerve, boom. It's like I can't really explain how it feels, but it's like an acute pain. And if you don't handle it, it'll make you feel like that whole side of your body's being locked up, literally. Don't recommend. 0 stars. Okay, it's real ghetto. But it's, it's not fun. It's not fun. But I realized, this is root chakra stuff. This is from the past couple of years of going. Yes, 0 stars. Going. Not having the time to even tend to my own household, feeling disconnected, focusing more on external stuff, not focusing on my internal body deep as I needed to. And then also there was some things that I didn't know about certain body things postpartum at that time, because I didn't have the time to get the resources. And now I got the resources, and you can't shut me up about them. So now that I know, and I've had talks with professionals, I'm like, pelvic floor health, stretch your body, ligaments, get that shit together. Like,